So the SI joint can become inflamed when it's out of balance. So we're just going to do some strengthening and some stretches within that area. So I want everyone to have 2 blocks available. And then take them and place them kind of at the top of your mat, but just in case you're laying down, you can kind of easily get to them, right? And the purpose for the blocks today is to support, but also to make some postures a little bit more gentler. Okay, so if you don't have blocks, maybe get something that can resemble this shape, even a pillow or 2. Imagine yourself in bridge with a block underneath your sacrum. If you don't have a block, maybe take a couple of books or pillows. Okay, so let's first come into a nice easy seat, just to become present here in this room and in this moment, sitting up nice and tall in your spine. Take an inhale through your nose. As you exhale, exhale through the mouth and begin to relax the body. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Relax the facial muscles. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Just begin to breathe in and out through the nose. And settle into the body, settle into this space and into this moment. And the breath today is going to be a 3-part breath, but it's going to be a little bit more flowy, kind of fluid like water instead of rigid. So we're not going to pause and stop at the top of the inhale. You're just going to kind of create a wave with the body, right? The inhale into the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Exhale, empty the chest, the rib cage, the belly, hug the navel back. And just try to create this kind of wave-like breath, this flow of breath through the body, and one that you can really focus on. Good, and then we're going to slowly bring ourselves down onto our backs with our knees bent, our feet on the floor, and then just allow the knees to kind of knock together. And as you allow the knees to knock together, you might have to readjust your feet. Feel that openness in the lower back. Place your hands on top of your pelvis and just relax and breathe down. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, just settling into the body. And just breathing and taking that breath down right into the belly, but feel it kind of filling up the lower back as well. Good. Arms are by your side. Breath is steady. Body is nice and quiet and still. And then invite the mind in also to become nice and quiet and still. Relaxing the shoulders down and away, letting them melt towards the mat. Letting the legs relax as well. You can let them go. They're going to stay right where they are. Good. And then just allow the knees to come apart. And then just reach down and grab a hold of one of those blocks. I'm going to take it at its medium height. So not the low, not the tall, but the medium height, okay? And you're going to slide and press into the feet, lift the hips, and then slide that block right underneath your sacrum, that big flat bone on your lower back. And then allow the hips to relax. So your SI joint connects that sacrum to your pelvis. And it's a right at the lower back on the left and right hand side. kind of low down into the hips. And if you ever feel any pain or discomfort there, that could be that joint is inflamed just from being out of balance, maybe overworked. So we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that joint. We're going to work on the hip area. We're going to work on strengthening and stretching and bringing that back into balance today. You take your hands and place them on those two pelvic ridges on the front of your hips. Just take your hands and just kind of take them to the front of the belly and just slide them out towards those two pelvic ridges, just assisting on allowing them to relax, open up a little bit. Good. Good. And just breathing, really relaxing the hips on top of those blocks. See if you can let them go. See if you can relax a little bit more. Good. And then remove your hands back down alongside of the body. Engage your feet into the floor and just press into the feet to lift the hips, just to slide that block out and just place it right there on the side of your mat on either side. And then just lower yourself down one vertebrae at a time, just slowly taking the spine down and then allowing the sacrum now to relax onto the floor and let it go. Just hold it here for 2 breaths. Just breathing into the body and just taking our time, moving through these exercises and always noticing and checking in with the body to notice any changes or any subtle sensations that may feel good or even those that may not feel so good. We're going to come back up into bridge pose, so press into the feet and then just lift the hips and kind of relax the hips. You don't have to strain or stress and get them up really high. Just let them just kind of be where they want to be and take those hands back to those two pelvic ridges. And I want you to allow that your thumb, your right and left thumb, just to kind of press, feel it pressing down to the top of those pelvic ridges, and then wrap your hands around your hips. Okay, and then I want you to press the left hip down. As the right hip lifts, push the right hip forward. Draw the left hip up. Think about creating a figure 8 with your hips. Drop the right hip down. Pull it up as you push the left hip down. Push the left hip down. The right hip is up, and now take that right hip forward and down. So just moving the hips. And don't worry if you're not doing it 100% perfect. Just move the hips up and down, and forward and back, manipulating them with your hands. Feel that. You can press them down, shift them back and forward and up, right? Good. And then reverse that movement. Go in the opposite direction. Just really manipulating that pelvis, loosening it up, releasing any congestion. Good. And then relax. And then lower down the sacrum back down onto the floor. Good. Move up a little bit, heads off the mat. Good. And then feet stay on the floor, knees are bent. I want you to take your left hand and place it on top of your left quadricep, right there. Okay?
I found this on the web.
And then take your right hand and take it to the outside of the right thigh. So left hand is on the top of the left thigh, right hand is outside the right thigh. And now I want you to energetically press the left thigh into the left hand. So press it and resist with the hand, push back with that hand. And the right thigh, press it into the right hand and push back with the right hand. Good. And then relax. Good. Do that again. Press the top of that left thigh into the hand, resist, even push back with the hand, and then the right hand into the outside. Press, resist, and then release. Now, when you do this, I want you to feel this engagement, not only within the core, but within your hips, and feel it deep inside those hips. Good. Again, press, engage, resist, and release. Good. Again, press, resist, relax. Again, press, resist, and relax. Good. Feel that all happening. Again, last time on this side, press, resist, and relax. Good. Now take your right hand to the top of your right thigh, right there, the quadricep. Hold on to that quadricep. Left hand outside the left thigh, right there on that IT band. Good. Now press and resist and relax. Good. Press and resist and relax. Good. Press and resist and relax. Good. Again, press and resist and relax. Good. Arms by your side. Just let the knees knock together. Let the lower back open. Hold it there and breathe. Inhaling and exhaling deeply through your nose. Good. Now, keep your knees together and walk your feet towards one another until you feel the inside edges of your feet touching. Take your arms out like airplane wings and drop your knees over to the left, keeping your toes connected and your knees. Drop it over to the right. I said left and I went right. Good. Bring them back to center so it doesn't matter. We're going from side to side. So just rock from side to side, nice and slow. Drop them to the left or the right. Relax them left. And then bring them back to center. Drop them over to the other side. Come back to center. Drop them over to the other side. Come back to center. Drop them over to the other side. Good. And then come back to center. Good. Hug your knees in. Take your hands to the top of the knees and make big circles with your knees. Separating them from one another. Just giving the hips a nice internal massage. Good. And then reverse that circle. Take it around in the opposite direction. Good. Bring the knees together. Slide your hands behind your thighs. And now rock back and forth on the spine, the length of the spine. And just think about giving not only the spine a nice massage as you rock back and forth, but feel it right down into the hips, into the sits bones. Good. One more time. And then just bring yourself up. And let's come. Let's see where we're at. Let's roll onto our stomach. Let's roll onto our stomach, or make your way there. And then take that left forearm, allow it to be parallel with the front of your mat, and then lower your forehead down on top of your left forearm. You can take that right arm alongside of your body, pointing down towards your feet. Good. Just rock your hips from right to left for now. Good. And then relax the rest of the body and just draw your right heel in towards your right glute. Now, you might be able to reach your foot. If you can, grab a hold of it. If not, just draw the heel towards your glute. Use the muscles in the legs to draw that heel towards the glute and allow that right hip flexor to open. Okay? So hold on to the foot if you can. Don't let it flare out to the right. Line it up with your hip. Good. And then start to press and engage that right hip crease into the mat. Good. And then just hold it there and breathe. Just let that open. Let it open slowly. Just breathing into the body. And you can continue with that 3-part wave of a breath, or you can just stay with a nice slow long inhale and a nice slow long exhale. Just really focusing on the breath, creating nice long breaths, smooth and soft and flowing. And trace your breath with your mind as you hold this posture. Just allow the body to be, allow the body to relax. Good. Relax the shoulder. Just keep a hold of the foot. Try to relax the arm a little bit. Relax the right glute. See what happens. Good. Take one more nice deep breath here. Good. And then just slowly release that foot to the floor and take your other forearm, stack the right forearm on top of the left, rest your forehead there. Good. Now take that right knee, slide it out to the right, keep it on the floor, slide it out towards that right shoulder, right? You're going to create a 90-degree angle on that leg. So it's jetting out from the hip, out to the right, and then from the knee to the foot's pointing towards the back of the mat, right? And then hold it there. And now just relax. Relax through the hips. Let them go. Allow yourself to become comfortable in the shape. Allow that hip to open. Feel the external rotation in that hip as it opens the front of that pelvis. Relax and breathe into that space. Let that feel good. Let the body just relax into the shape. Nothing too extreme. Just a little opening. Inhaling and exhaling, keep letting go of that right hip, as if that right glute can melt right through the hip towards the mat. Keep melting it. It's almost as if you can energetically press it down, right, from the glute through the hip, pressing that hip crease down towards the mat. Feel that, breathe into it. And let it go. Try to relax the upper body as well. Just rest on your arms. Good. Now we're going to slowly make our way out of this. So just slide that right foot back onto your mat. Good. And then release the left arm alongside of the body as you place your forehead now on top of that right forearm. And then bend the left knee and grab a hold of the top of the foot if you can. You can always take a strap. You can even grab a hold of your clothes if you need to, right? If you can't reach that foot, grab a hold of the bottom of your pants and hold it there. Good. Hug that heel towards your glute. Relax the left glute. Relax the whole body here. Keep that leg in line with your hip. Keep that foot in line with your hip. And now melt that left glute down towards the mat. Even energetically press it down just slightly. Just so you feel that hip crease open, quadricep open. And that should feel good. Or you could just hold it there and just let the body go and let it do what it wants. Let the body become comfortable. Let the body be soft. Let go of any rigidity. So there's a difference between engaging the body and creating rigidity. Right? Pressing the left hip down is engagement. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, stay steady with your breath. Let that left shoulder melt towards the floor. Try to relax the arm. Good. And then slowly release that foot. Just let it relax towards the floor. Take the left arm, stack it on top of the right. Rest your forehead there. Good. Now take the left knee, draw it up towards the left shoulder, keeping the knee on the floor. 90-degree angle on that leg. The inside of that foot should be on the floor. And then relax and melt that left hip crease down towards the floor. Let it go. Breathe in and out through your nose. You don't have to do anything here. Just allow the body to be. All you have to do is breathe and let go. Surrender to the posture. Surrender to the shape that you're in. Good. Just keep relaxing. See if you can get that left hip to feel real heavy. Let it go. Relax that hamstring. So sometimes the muscles in our body can hold on, right? The hamstring might be holding this hip in place, holding it high, but when you relax the hamstring, the hip seems to relax a little bit down, a little bit more down towards the floor. Sometimes when our SI joint is out of whack, it's because of opposed muscles as well, right? Getting tight, pulling on the area, shifting it out of balance. So that's why it's important to stretch all of those muscles, all of the muscles in the body as they're directly connected to one another. Good. Slide that left knee back onto the mat. And then take your hands alongside of your chest and just press up nice and slow into tabletop position. And find your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And I want you to keep the shape of the body, right? Draw your navel up into your back body, close off that rib cage. And what I want you to do is just lift the left knee up off the floor. As you do that, you're going to feel that left hip hike up, right? And then lower back down. And at the same time, you're also working the core, right? Lift the right knee. Lower back down. Keep the navel lifted. Now, just as if you're marching on your knees, lift the left as high as you can. Bring it back down slowly. Lift the right as high as you can. Bring it back down slowly. Lift the left as high as you can. Bring it back down slowly. Lift the right as high as you can. Bring it back down. And left. And lower. Right lifts. And lowers. Left lifts. And lowers. And right lifts. And lowers. Good. Pause there. Take your left foot to the front of the mat. Now take both of those blocks and place them up at the top of your mat at the high level. Good. Just right there alongside of your foot. Okay. And then drop the right quadricep down towards the mat. So find that angle on that right thigh, right? So that you can open up that right hip flexor, that right quadricep. And as you hold it here, just rest your hands on those blocks. This way you can relax in upright position and draw your heart forward and relax your shoulders. Take your left hip and hug it back towards your right foot, just to stabilize the pelvis. Focus on the opening of that right hip flexor and that quadricep. Just relax through the hips, kind of allow them to melt forward. Good, and then just take your gaze up where the wall meets the ceiling. Lift your heart, hold it there. It's the lifting of the heart, the lifting of the chin that kind of takes that stretch all the way up the front of the body. Do you feel that? Hold it, breathe, let it open. Inhale. Close your eyes or keep your gaze at the wall where the wall meets the ceiling. Exhale. Feel it opening, relax into that right hip flexor a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Feel it stretching, feel it opening. Last exhale. Good, shift back. Shift back, we're just going to switch sides. So take the left foot back and take the right foot to the front of the mat. Drop your hips forward. See that angle on that left thigh? Try to create that. Hug the right hip back. Look forward. Now lift your heart and lift your gaze. And keep relaxing those hips forward. Good. So try to keep lifting the heart. Opening up the left side of the body a little bit more. Keep that right hip hugging back towards that left foot. Close your eyes and just breathe into the body. Good. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, shift back. Take the right knee back. Come back onto your knees. Good. I want you to take both of the blocks and stack them like so, one on top of the other. Place them there in the center of your mat. So we're going to come into malasana, squat, but seated on the blocks so that you have the support. And so this is an option for malasana whenever you're practicing yoga and you can't seem to come into that because your hips won't allow it. This is a good option to come into. Sit down on the blocks. Take your knees nice and wide, your feet out nice and wide. Take your elbows inside your knees, push them away. Take your hands in prayer position. And hold it there and breathe. And just think about opening up the front of the pelvis and the floor of the pelvis. Hold it there and breathe. Relax those two sits bones on top of the blocks and just allow the body to be. Breathe into the hips. Let that feel good. I'm just going to stay here for 5 more breaths. So relax. Become comfortable in this position. Notice how you feel in this position. Notice how the body feels. Is it releasing? Is it opening up a little bit more? Is it becoming more comfortable? 3 more breaths. Inhale. Big breath. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And just rise up from there. You can come to stand, slide those blocks out from underneath you, place them back at the top of the mat. And then we're just going to sit on our mats with the soles of your feet together. And you can have the feet close to your body, or you can extend them out a little bit further out in front of you, okay? And we're not going to be rigid. It's going to be a super gentle forward fold. It's just going to be relaxing. So just allow the body to just fold forward. Let the back round. Take your arms, let them drape wherever they want to fall. And just allow the body to relax here and breathe. Nice forward fold, soles of the feet together. You can extend them out into star pose or draw them nice and close to the body in cobbler pose. But either way, just hold it here and just breathe into those hips. Inhale. Arms are relaxed. Head, shoulders are relaxed. Good. Inhaling and exhaling deeply through your nose. Just relax and hold that position. Like this soft, gentle forward fold in cobbler's pose. Well, for me, I'm more of a star pose. My feet are extended out a little bit further away from my body. Upper body's super relaxed, just letting everything go. Good. Feel softness through those hips. Breathe into them. Good. One more breath here. And then we're going to slowly rise. Nice and slow. Bring your knees together. Take your hands outside the knees. Walk your feet into the body. Just wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a nice big hug. And thank yourself for coming here today. Just to work on the SI joint. So you can take 1 or 2, 3 of those postures and do them once in a while and allow the body to stay, the pelvis, the sacroiliac joint to stay in balance. Okay?